Hello everyone there, this is Showa here. Today I'm going to be reacting to the Winter Nights Lazzo Interlude teaser trailer from Genshin Impact. So currently I'm just adding these all to the playlist so that I can just watch this all in one go, making it easier than having to search for the video separately later. Okay, so let's begin and watch this in English. Now, okay, we'll talk about that later. But I feel like my premonition was right, assuming.
The sages think themselves.
Okay, so here's a chessboard. Okay.
But we alone are wise to the
The
virtues
Gnosis
of
of
those acts of folly. In this war, not even a single pawn may be spared. Because on this chessboard, checkmate is not where the game ends.
We are gathered here today to remember our dear comrade. In honor of her sacrifice, all work should halt for half a day as the nation mourns her passing.
Merely half a day? People say the Northland Bank's true currencies are blood and tears. But Mayor, even speaking as a banker, that sounds a little unconscionable.
Rosaline died in a foreign land. But you heartless businessmen and dignitaries, always with a convenient excuse to remain in the comfort of your homeland, you couldn't hope to understand. So why don't you keep your mouths shut? We don't want to make the children cry.
Hey, come on now. Even I don't think this is the right time or place for a fight.
Utterly risible.
Though her methods tarnished her honor, Loafalta's sacrifice is a great pity. Her loss shall not hinder our progress. But Dottore, what of Scaramouche and the Gnosis from Inazuma?
Conventional wisdom holds that divine knowledge cannot be rationally comprehended. After conquering the divine gaze, he will make his next move.
It's time to end tonight's foolish theatrics. Right now, you have no captive audience. Let every worthy sacrifice be carved in ice. With this nation, endure for all time. In the name of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, we will seize authority from the gods. Absolute peace. Such is the gift from the Tsaritsa. Such is Her Majesty's benevolence. Now you rest in this coffin, encased in layer upon layer of ice. But Rosaline, I promise you, your final resting place will be the entirety of the old world.
Oh, I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills.
I must say, you're looking very young today, Doctor.
You know very well that I do not take that as a compliment.
So, where's the segment in the prime of his life, then?
Oh.
He's busy with a little experiment in blasphemy.
Oh my god.
Colin, time to head out on patrol.
Okay, Master Tainari! What was that?
Okay, I don't know how many of you got the chills from watching just that teaser trailer. Already just so much information. We've seen so many new characters, even the plot of what might be happening in Sumeru in the future. Voice acting again is very good. Some characters remind me of other characters from other games, the eyes and stuff as well, but we'll talk about that later. Let's go on to the Japanese trailer.
賢者は全てを知っているつもりであろうが、我らこそ愚行の背後にある道義を知る者。戦局に捨て駒はない。なぜならこの対局の終着点はチェックメイトではないからだ。
So she's the one
今
singing.
日集まったのは我らが同胞を追悼するためじゃ。この犠牲は全国民にとって半日手を止めてでも記憶に刻む価値がある。
半日だけですか。北国銀行は民の血と涙で回っていると言いますが、市長殿の価値観は私ども銀行家より歪んでいるらしい。
ロザリンは見知らぬ地で果てていった。君たちのように共感性に欠け、言い訳ばかりで国に身を潜めるお偉方には想像もつかないだろう。ならばさっさと口を閉じろ。子供たちが泣いてしまう。
ちょっと俺でさえここが戦いの場じゃないって分かってるの。
This red thing that's hanging off.
実に滑稽ね。
ローエファルタの取った手段は栄光を傷つけたとはいえ、彼女の犠牲は惜しい。それでも俺たちが歩みを止めることはない。ロットーレ、スカラマシと稲妻の神の心はどうなった？
神の英知は理性では理解できないほどの神聖な知識。神の眼差しを征服した彼は新たな一歩を踏み出す。
夜の戯劇もこれで終わりだ。今ここに貴様たちに干渉はいない。崇高なる犠牲は全て敵氷に刻まれ、国と共に生き続ける。高潔な氷の徐行のもと、我々は神々の力を奪取する。絶対的安寧。それは徐行の恩師であり、徐行の慈悲。
This scene sends
棺にて長き眠りにつき、熱い憲兵の中に閉ざされようとも、我が輩が約束しよう。ロザリン、貴公の棺が旧世界のすべてとなるだろう。
今日の博士、なんだか若く見えますね。
知っているだろう。その手のお世辞は私に通用しない。
じゃあ前世紀の断片はどこへ？
それは冒涜に関する実験の中さ。
コレイ、森をパトロールするよ。
わかりました、ティナリ師匠。今のは一体。
Very strong in Japanese too. Okay, Chinese version. Just keep it rolling. This music though is just, it's so beautiful, powerful, solemn, and it just really fits with this entire trailer. It really creates the whole sense.
贤者自以为无所不知，我等才明白那些鱼形背后的道理。战局 弃子，因为对这盘棋局来说，江杀并非是终点。
今日我们相聚于此，是为了纪念我们的好同伴。他的牺牲对于整个至宗而言，值得足足半日的停工缅怀。
仅仅半日？都说北国银行周转的是血泪与哀嚎，可市长先生，您的价值观比我这银行家还要扭曲。
罗莎琳在陌生的土地上陨落。对于你们这些既缺少同理心，又只会找借口龟缩在至东的富商政要来说，应该无法想象。既然如此，就好好把嘴闭上，不然孩子们会哭的。
喂喂，就连我都觉得，这儿可不是适合争斗的场合。
荒谬可笑。
尽管手段玷污了荣耀，洛厄法特的牺牲依旧令人惋惜。他的离去，并不会让我们停滞不前。倒是多托雷、斯卡拉姆齐和道奇的神之心。
世间常理都觉得神之灵知是理性无法理解的神圣知识，在征服神之目光以后，他会迈出新的一步。
夜晚的余戏该结束了，此刻你们没有观众，所有崇高的牺牲都将铭刻于坚冰之上，与国长存。在高洁的冰之女皇麾下，我们将攫取众神的权柄。绝对的安宁，此为女皇的恩赐，此为女皇的仁慈。你虽长眠于这棺木，长眠于重重坚冰之中，但是洛莎琳，我承诺你，你的灵柩将会是整个旧世界。
不是，今天的你看起来很年轻啊。
你知道的，这句话对我来说可不算什么奉承。
那全盛时期的切片，此刻在哪儿呢？
哼，在一场关于亵渎的实验之中。
快来，去巡灵了。
啊，知道了，提纳里师傅。刚才的事。
Seriously, it's just all of the versions just give me chills no matter what. The voice actors are all very good. Chinese voice actors are, again, their own league, because again the original, but Japanese, English are all very strong as well. The old man, I can't remember the names. I'm not very good with remembering names in short term anymore, but his voice is very different for each one. The Japanese and Chinese ones are quite similar, but the Chinese one is more, how do I say, period, and very timey, but yeah, that's slightly creepy as well. But it's got one that got this charisma to it that kind of makes you want to keep listening to it. I probably can't go into all of the characters, but I want to talk about what the trailer itself actually showed. So obviously, this being the Crystal Fly, which is basically Signora, because after all, this is what we see. We have collected to break her ice shield, and this is what she turns into whenever she disappears off the field. So this was me getting all happy, thinking, oh, she's alive. This might be her carrying her fragment of her memory of whatever body double she had back then. But no. this trader basically said, "Yep, that's it. She's gone." And it's a way as well. The crystal fly is struggling in the blizzard to get back to her coffin, basically, where she's laying now. Also, a lot of people have commented on what the gnosis were. So this is Zhongli's gnosis, which is basically a rook, the castle in the chessboard.
The sages think
which a lot of people thought that would be quite weird, considering that he was supposed to be the most powerful and also supposed to be like the leader character for the Celestia, for the 7 gods.
But we alone.
And then here we've got Venti's gnosis, which is basically, I believe, it's the king. Which then, in a sense, it kind of makes sense. But then we don't see Raiden's one. Shogun's one, because Venti's a king. He got wiped out basically in one blow, and then with Zhongli he could keep it, but he decided to let it go. And the rooks are kind of considered to be one of the most powerful pieces.
Are wise to the virtue in those acts of folly. In this war, not even a single pawn may be spared.
Yeah, all of the leader characters in this old man here, his voice actor is very charismatic. He draws you in, and that shows the leadership quality. I like this, where the ice is just building up slowly. So I assume the person singing is our Tsaritsa, because I don't believe she lined up at the end of the table. Her design is quite interesting. I actually thought that she would be completely white-haired, but I could be wrong. This might not be the Tsaritsa. It could just be another character, and this character's gift is singing. Or I'm remembering completely incorrectly.
We are gathered here today.
So this character here, the one speaking, he reminds me of Ivan Igor from Persona. Mainly because of the ears and the long nose, and then he's wearing the blue, the velvet kind of color.
To remember our dear comrade.
The one thing I did notice was this insignia and this crystal that's just hanging off the right side of their shoulders. So each crystal is a different color.
In honor of her sacrifice, all work should halt for half a day as the nation mourns her passing.
So this is another thing I noticed, is this insignia ring. Though I don't think everyone wears this ring, it's just a symbol again.
Merely half a day? People say the North...
So he, again, has a crystal on his side. I'm assuming some of these other symbols are supposed to symbolize something else.
Bank's true currencies are...
This character actually reminds me of Clow Reed from Cardcaptor Sakura, mainly because of the hair. I believe he's got long hair on the back as well, maybe a ponytail or something. And then he's also got the glasses, the spectacles, though I think Clow Reed wore maybe a monocle.
Blood and tears. But Mayor, even speaking as a banker, that sounds a little unconscionable.
Rosaline died in a foreign land.
I also like the fact that we get to learn Signora's name, so we now know her name was Rosaline. Again, this insignia here with like a flower, and in the dark color of this, I wonder if it tells us their position.
Heartless businessmen and dignitaries, always with a
Her eye design is very interesting as well. We've already seen a number of different characters with different types of pupils. Which has led to some questions about whether the people in Teyvat are actually human. We already know there's beast folk. There's Yaoguai, like the Oni. We also know there's the god's own familiars. There's a Deptai. So it could be that these are all crossed with other species. We never know. I'll be quite interested to see what her attack is going to be.
Convenient excuse to remain in the comfort of your homeland. You couldn't hope to understand. So why don't you keep your mouths shut? We don't want to make the children cry.
Translations all felt very good as well, because that's exactly what they say in the other two languages.
Come on now. Even I don't think this is the right...
He doesn't have the flower insignia or like a ring or a jewel. It could be covered by his scarf, but again, he's got the the crystal, though the other girl's crystal was black and red, and not just red, which makes me wonder if this is a different type of element. I mean, even this is, for example, is black and red as well.
This is the right time or place.
Whereas his one is just one color. These two characters are quite interesting. Again, here, these two have this. She's got that. I don't see a crystal on him, so I don't know if she is a puppet master of sorts, and this is a golem. She's got the orange crystal here. She's not wearing that flower insignia that I saw on some of the other characters. I don't know if this is like a role that's basically been assigned to them, so it could symbolize what role they play as a harbinger.
Though her methods tarnished her honor, Loafalta's sacrifice.
So is her full name Rosalind Loafalta then? Again, he's got a similar insignia, but on top of his helmet. And then we see he's got a crystal as well, which is
her
dark
loss
color
shall not hinder our progress.
And then they've got the same kind of flower insignia wearing on their right side, but along with the crystal.
What of Scaramouche and the Gnosis from Inazuma?
Conventional wisdom holds that divine knowledge cannot
progress. But Dottore, what of Scaramouche and the Gnosis from Inazuma?
So Scaramouche has not returned yet.
Conventional wisdom holds that divine knowledge cannot be rationally comprehended. After conquering the divine gaze, he will make his next move.
Divine gaze?
It's time to end tonight's foolish theatrics. Right now, you have no captive audience.
So again, this character is very interesting. His eyes remind me of a dragon, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, when you have a character who's a dragon, but he's taken human form, his eyes still remain with that sharpness, with that depth of a dragon, and that eye kind of gives me that feeling of dread, almost. So he's partly wearing a mask. This, I'm not sure if this is
Let
insignia.
every worthy sacrifice be carved in ice.
The most interesting thing is definitely the color of all of their. So she's definitely not the Tsaritsa then. So I just saw her. So we haven't seen the Tsaritsa yet.
Sure for.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is definitely a golem, or this is the puppet. I'm not too sure which is which actually. I could be completely wrong, and she's the puppet and he's the master. And then Scaramouche is not here, so we know Scaramouche is a Harbinger, so he's the one who's missing, which means that now we've seen all 11 Harbingers, which is quite interesting actually. But her crystal is definitely the most weird one. It's black and red. His one, I mean, if I'm going by color, and I'm saying that the color is going to be what signifies the elements, I think I'm going to be completely wrong. I've not seen Signora's one, and I know he's got 2 modes. He uses hydro and lightning, and purple and blue don't make red, so.
For all time.
Yeah. And this is basically Signora's coffin.
In the name of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, we will seize authority from the gods.
I love this showing us how cold it really is wherever they are. We've got the aurora, we've got the clear star-filled sky, because the colder it is usually, the clearer the air is, and the more clear you can see the stars above. And then we see this. I don't know if this is, I could say, is Russian inspired, because I've not seen much Russian architecture. I mean, the only thing I've really seen is like the Kremlin and some of the buildings, but we know it's supposed to be based on Russia, so it could be.
Absolute.
Someone can tell me if they think it's familiar. What I really like though is the way that this ice forms, rather than just forming in one go with some, like if we've seen some animation how ice forms, we see probably 30-40 layers or even more just slowly forming over one another, slowly rippling out over, giving this kind of aurora kind of feeling, like just making it really beautiful as it stretches, but at the same time making it quite chilling.
Is Her Majesty's benevolence.
And then this additional ice spike showing up.
Now you rest in this coffin, encased in layer upon layer of ice. But Rosaline, I promise you, your final resting place will be the entirety of the old world.
And I've got to admit that when it finally burns out, that's probably just to reaffirm our thoughts that Signora is completely gone now. She's absolutely dead. She's completely burnt out, basically. Which part of me kind of feels like it's kind of a loss, really. Because I felt like her death, as unexpected as it was, I personally had hopes that she might have survived. So I'm one of the people who are still hoping to see her reappear, other than her weekly boss. At least I hope she does kind of make her reappearance, maybe in some kind of lore in the future. Maybe, because again, we know we can time travel to some degree. We've seen it in one of the story quests, the interlude chapter, the recent interlude chapter. We've seen it in one of the character quests. So part of me is really hoping we can at least see some more background into her. I know there's in-game lore, there's books, there's probably some recordings. I don't have Child, but maybe he has some recordings as well, some audio dialogue. But yeah, part of me is gutted that she's gone.
I must say, you're looking very young today, Doctor.
You know very well that I do not take that as a compliment.
So, where's the segment in the prime of his life, then?
He's busy with a little experiment in blasphemy.
So he's a doctor. We've already seen him in the clip, but then he's saying that his segment in his primes and he's younger today. So it makes me wonder if he's either able to create clones or if he has an issue regressing in age, as in if he's achieved immortality, but he has a side effect of some sort. The way this tree is burning, though, already it's probably signifying that he's the main villain for the next part, and this is Sumeru, and that his plan is to burn down a world tree or something. I mean, we've not even seen the sights yet, so...
A little experiment in blasphemy.
I mean, I would love to say that she is the first ever Dendro character, but she isn't, because we know that Baizu is a Dendro character who appeared when we first got introduced to Chi-Chi when we were collecting the pharmaceutical goods for the Zhongli funeral. The Geogod's funeral. We also know that there's Yao Yao, who had been leaked, but she hasn't actually been released yet. She's not even appeared in any trailers or anything. And then now we have her, so she would technically be the third Dendro character. And already, she already looks quite unique as well in her design. I mean, the hairstyle, she's not Sucrose, and her hair is quite long, but it's kind of got this Traveler-esque kind of style, maybe.
Patrol.
So her name is Cody.
Okay, Master Tainari.
So I'm not an expert in... So people say that Sumeru is supposed to be based upon the Middle East and India. I'm not an expert, but I can't tell. So someone tell me later on. I mean, to me, her dress kind of reminds me more elf, mainly due to the hood. And as always with all of the characters from Teyvat, they've got this two long sleeves or scarves or whatever that's dangling behind them.
What was that?
I wonder if there's any lore in this significance behind those. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. We learnt a few names in there.
Rosaline died in a foreign land. But you heartless businessmen and dignitaries, always with a convenient excuse to remain in the comfort of your homeland, you couldn't hope to understand. So why don't you keep your mouths shut?
Working as a banker, that sounds a little unconscionable.
Rosaline died.
So he works in the bank. I assume. No.
Merely half a day? People say the Northland Bank's true currencies are blood and tears. But Mayor, even speaking as a banker, that sounds...
So he is a banker. This guy is a mayor. We know Child already. We know there's a doctor. So what roles do these two play?
Utterly risible.
Though her methods tarnished her honor, Loafalta's sacrifice is a great pity. Her loss shall not hinder our progress. But Dottore...
And he's called Dottore, so the doctor...
What of Scaramouche and the Gnosis from Inazuma?
Conventional wisdom holds that divine knowledge cannot be rationally comprehended. After conquering the divine gaze, he will make his next move.
It's time to end tonight's foolish theatrics. Right now, you have no captive audience.
Another thing I have to mention is the animation, again, is just top-notch. We've already seen Mihoyo showing us really good animations in various different forms. But this one is, again, it has its own smoothness to it compared to the Ayaka trailer. It has its own smoothness compared to the cutscene for Bosacius.
Let every worthy sacrifice be.
Yet they also continue to maintain that aesthetic that they're trying to go for.
Sure.
Now, I was expecting more masks, so assuming that this is a doll, but then the female characters tend to not. But Signora did have a mask. She is wearing a mask. I remember she had this thing covering her eyes. She doesn't have a mask. He doesn't wear a mask unless his glasses count as a mask. He's technically wearing glasses unless that counts as a mask. But then assuming that this is the puppet and this is the actual master, this is wearing a mask. So, yeah, I mean, I personally thought all of them were supposed to wear masks, like a Fatui thing. They all wear masks. So I could be right. I could be wrong. I don't know. Her mask is quite interesting in design, though it looks quite uncomfortable with the little points there. Her one is kind of weird coloured as well. Her crystal. Gnosis designs. Very interesting design. Now, someone mentioned that because there's 7 gods, there should be 7 pieces. But with the king and the rook gone, that means there's only the queen, the bishop, the knight, and the pawn left, which means there's only 4 pieces. But if we're going to say that the pieces are based upon the back row and not the front row, then there would be 6 pieces. 5 unique pieces, but 8 pieces altogether. Now, if the theory is that what is missing from this is actually the queen, or assuming that Venti's piece is the queen
in this
and
war,
not the king.
Not even a single.
I mean, I assume this piece is meant to signify the king or the queen, but then this is a crown, so then whatever piece is missing, either king or queen, then whoever comes in is the 8th god and they may seize control. I don't know, that's part of the theory at least anyway. I mean, originally I thought that it might have been based on Chinese chess, because Chinese chess has 8 unique pieces, but that's not the case. Obviously, now that we have this in front of us, we know it's completely based upon Western chess, and therefore different theories, I'm sure, are being crafted right now after this trailer has been released. Anyway, I think I'll end this video here. I did enjoy everything about it. I mean, the designs of the Harbingers all wearing the similar uniform really kind of tells us, yeah, they're serious business. the different crystals, different colored crystals that they all carry on the right side, along with the I can't remember what it was called, but the unique kind of string or thread or braid that they wear also signifies something about maybe their power or their position. They are wearing masks to a degree. The only one that's not wearing a mask is her. I don't know why. Maybe her hair color counts as a mask. I don't know. I have no idea. Because he's wearing a mask, they're wearing a mask. The other two are wearing spectacles. If they count as masks, or they serve different roles where they're not supposed to wear a mask. I don't know yet. Then there's all these symbols. Again, not too sure what they mean. We don't know what this guy looks like because he's wearing an entire full face helmet. We know that this guy is going to appear in one form or another for our Sumeru 3.0 patch. But this is the first time we see more in-depth into Stezaya, at least with some of the architecture, the internal architecture. See more of the Harbingers, see how they work and who's in charge, or who they really are. We didn't see Scaramouche here, so I'm not too sure what his relationship is actually with the Harbingers. This is the thing, he's in quite a weird place. We've only seen him appear twice. I don't know if you didn't get to play the event with the Falling Stars, if you got to play the story for that. If you did, then you've already met him along with Fischl and Muna. But yeah, again, great trailer. Music was great. Everything about it visually was amazing, and it draws you in. Voice actors were very strong for every single character, which means that they've already chosen the voice actors for the Harbingers, which is an interesting thing as well. So it means maybe we'll see more of the Harbingers. I don't feel like they will, start all of this and then not give us something for it. Like they've selected all of these characters, they're probably working on building them and trying to integrate them into the story and maybe in the future batches and events. We'll have to see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this particularly long live reaction. If you enjoyed this video and this reaction, please like and subscribe, and any comments below on any of the theories or any of the things I've pointed out. We could create a discussion and it would be helpful in maybe getting the lore rolling as well. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Now to find the